Hi Virgo, I am here to do your mid-month reading. I first want to apologize for how long it's taken to put the video out, but I did do a reading for you and the camera turned off mid-reading. But because that happened, I do want to relay what the message was because I like to put the cards out in front of you. I don't like pre-shuffled cards. I don't like the layout already there, but I just want to relay what the message was. Apparently, some of you have an experience where you you lost a child. It could have been a loss through miscarriage, or it was a loss through possible abortion, or maybe some of you may have even lost a parent. You lost your mom, and the situation is taking a toll on what it is that's happening between you and another person in your life, somebody fairly close. Instead of you guys talking to one another, you guys are talking to other people and you're seeking counsel in other people. When in fact, in order for you to move forward in a way that's progressive, you need to stop and take a look at what it is that's happened and talk to each other. You're not emoting at all. There's no love in the relationship. So that's why I just think it's a significant relationship. I can't tell you whether or not it is. It could be a relationship between family, but I do know that there definitely needs to be some communication, and that the period, this 2-week period, for you in the last reading that I did for you prior to the camera cutting off, is for evaluation and review, and really just trying to get back to the part of you that's able to function from a more emotional standpoint, because of the loss, you've become very, very cold. You and the other person have become very cold. And so what you should be working on in the next 2 weeks is trying to move a little closer. Okay? Now I'm going to do another reading because the camera shut off. And so I'm going to start shuffling now. Okay? So, November. Cards telling me to stop. All right, we have your central issue. We have the foundation. We have the past. We have what covers you, and we have the near future and or outcome. Good. So we have the 5 of fire in the center as your central issue. We have the star in your foundation. We have the 8 of fire in the past. We have release as your covering card. And we have, all right, the good news is that the same card that came out in your last reading for the near future and or the outcome is the renewal card. So I'm happy about that. That means that you guys still are in a period where you have to evaluate and work on completing something, moving forward in some aspect of your life. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right in and start the clarifications. The 5 of fire usually indicates some kind of conflict. I find that a lot of times the conflict can be internal, more of an internal struggle, or you can actually be having conflict with others. Like these are arguments, you're fighting about certain things. So let's clarify. I'm going to clarify with my Tarot Illuminati deck. This is my go-to. It's my favorite deck in the world. And I'm just going to give it a shuffle. Please clarify why the 5 of fire is here. Wow. All right. I usually like to pull 3 cards. 2 of them jumped out. All right. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Swords. I'm going to pull one more. I usually like 3 to complete a story. Please clarify the 5 of fire. Please clarify the 5 of fire. And I like to shuffle until a card falls out. So, you know, sometimes that can be a little time consuming. All right. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, Seven of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles can actually be you because it is an earth sign. And as you know, earth signs are Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So it says to me that you are probably in conflict with someone. You might be feeling a little confusion around the situation or circumstances with them, but you are not speaking to them right now. You have nothing to say. Your mouth is closed. You are Ray Charles, everything. You're not trying to see or hear anything that is going on in this circumstance. Maybe it's a group of people because it's 5. It can even be a family ordeal. Maybe the family is in some kind of conflict. You know, there may be a lot of stories going around. There may be a lot of people talking about a lot of different things, and that's what's causing the conflict. But you are not with it. You have absolutely decided that you are going to separate yourself from this because it's just entirely too much that's going on right now. All right, so we're going to clarify the star. Now, the star is usually a card of optimism, and this is in your foundation. The foundation of the reading is typically why it is that somebody would go to see a reader in the first place. So, you know, this is a card of optimism. So you are hoping for something, and let's find out what that is. Please clarify the star card. Sorry. Father God, please clarify the star card. All right. Please clarify the star card. Please clarify the star card. All right. We'll jump out the deck. 4 of Pentacles. God, please clarify the star card. All right, we have a flipper. 8 of Wands. Oh my God, please clarify the star card. Father God, please clarify the star card. Father God, please clarify the star card. One more. Thank you very much. All right, we have the moon. All right, so we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, and the moon over the star card. So this looks to me like you're shut up pretty tight. You are very guarded right now in your circumstances, even in your communications. And it's not necessarily something that you want. It looks like this is a card of something that you believe should be revealed, or you're waiting for something to be revealed. So it kind of looks like you might even just be ceasing communication once again overall, because you're locked up pretty tight. I'm not doing this. I'm not having these conversations. What's done in the dark comes to light, and then I'll have a conversation. And it seems like that. You are hoping for some kind of positive outcome though. But as of right now, the circumstances surrounding what's going on is, you know, you just feeling like you can't be free with communication in these, I don't know. This really seems very family oriented. Like perhaps there is a family fighting about, you know how family spreads rumors and Uncle Billy tells you what Aunt Nancy did 17 years ago and now Aunt Nancy is pissed about it. It's kind of one of those things that I see it's going on. And you're just like, I'm not getting involved with this. I just don't want it. I'm not interested. We're not going to have these kinds of conversations. Or perhaps these kinds of conversations have been happening about you, and that's why you're not with it. You're not interested in discussing what it is that everyone else is all up in arms about. So in the past, we have the 8 of Fire, which is, again, the card of communication. But this is like excessive talking. There is so much talking going on, and there's been talking going on. Okay, so we're going to clarify the 8 of Fire. Right, we have the Wheel. Let's get 2 more. Now, please clarify the 8 of Fire. jumper. The Ace of Cups. All right, and we have 2 that jumped out. I usually only want 3, but because they both jumped out upright, I'm okay with that. All right, this is definitely a stalemate. This is definitely a stalemate. So it looks like there are some circumstances. Everything was all good. It was all peace. It was all love. You know, the cup of love runneth over. This is absolutely a family situation. And then out of nowhere, it seems like because we're over the 8 of fire, there's some communication that began. And then at first, you didn't quite know how to feel about it. You're like, you know what? I'm not sure. Is this something that I can deal with, or do I have to run away from it? And then you were like, no, stalemate. I'm not doing this. And you know what? It's odd because I think that things like this happen a lot during the holiday season when it comes to family. When it's time to gather, there are a lot of people who will gather and they just won't speak to each other, or there are people who won't gather at all because they haven't been in communication with their family for reasons unknown, but it typically starts with a word from one person to another. Okay, so we're going to go into release. Now, release is actually equivalent to the death card in a regular tarot. So this whole reading is about you not playing. You are very serious about your circumstances. But let's see what this is the end of, okay? Let's clarify release. All right, so the Hermit, 3 of Swords. All right, one more. Give me one more. Please give me one more card. Just clarify relief. Up the Tower. This situation is deaded completely. We have Death and Tower in the same reading. We have the Hermit. I wish I could say that right now this is looking like a situation where, you know, we're going to get past this. But it really looks like whatever occurred was so damaging and so hurtful that you are unwilling to look back. We have the card of introspection, which means that you've thought about the situation and you thought about how to deal with it. But then we have, you know, the 3 of Swords, and you really, you thought about how bad you were hurt by this. Like, this is extreme betrayal. It is gut-wrenching. It is heartbreaking. And you're just like, I can't. I'd rather just destroy the foundation. I can't do this anymore. I don't want it. I'm not going to have it. Now, your last card is a card of renewal. And renewal is usually, you know, somebody who weighs the pros and cons of a situation and then tries to make a decision based on it. Now, sometimes you focus a little more on the cons than the pros, but we don't know which direction it's going to go in. The truth of the matter is that this situation is going to move. We just don't know where it's going to move. Is this going to be a place where you decide that you're going to detach yourself from whatever these circumstances are completely? Or, you know, are you going to look it over and see if you can heal some of it? But right now you are in this space, and this entire space says, no, I'm not with it. This entire space, this space here is your current present circumstances, the energy around what's going on in the situation, and you are not having it. You are not happy. You have no problem detaching yourself in a way to show that you're not happy about the circumstances, and you are being so strong about it too. Let's clarify renewal. I'm sorry, we have the 5 of Cups. Please clarify renewal. I'm sorry, that was the 5 of Pentacles, actually. I don't know why I said Cups. We have the Lovers. All right. All right. So on your renewal card, which is a card usually about, evaluating circumstances and deciding which way you're going to go, weighing the pros and cons of situations, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Lovers, and we have the Four of Cups. You are done. You're finished. You don't want any dealings with whatever this situation was, whether it's between a lover or family. You are done. You're not interested. You don't want to see it. You barely want to talk about it. You are finished. These are the energies that you have for the next 2 weeks. Doesn't mean that this is how you're going to feel forever, but this is what's surrounding the situation right now. This is how you feel. You drop the hammer over the next 2 weeks, or probably maybe you just dropped the hammer, and that's why we're getting some of this energy. But maybe some of that energy will change for your December reading. So if this reading resonated with you, please leave comments. I love to read your comments, and I'm trying my best to respond to all of them. Like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you for stopping by.